Hey there. So we're testing sound quality right now. I am basically at a local coffee shop. I am kind of talking softly. It's early in the morning. You can see my hair is a beautiful mess. At any rate, what I'm going to be doing for us right now is reading from the preface of the Bhagavad Gita. This is an author's kind of account and some background, and I have some insight to share with that after I finish reading. More than 25 centuries have passed since that which has been called the perennial philosophy was first committed to writing, and in the course of those centuries it has found expression, now partial, now complete, now in this form, now in that, again and again, in Vedanta and Hebrew prophecy, in the Tao Te Ching and the Platonic dialogues, in the Gospel according to St. John and Mahayana theology, in Plotinus and the Areopagite, among the Persian Sufis and the Christian mystics of the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. The perennial philosophy has spoken almost all of the languages of Asia and Europe, and has made use of the terminology and traditions of every one of the higher religions. But under all of this confusion of tongues and myths, of local histories and particularist doctrines, there remains a highest common factor, which is the perennial philosophy, in what may be called its chemically pure state. This final purity can never, of course, be expressed by any verbal statement of the philosophy, however undogmatic that statement may be, however deliberately synchronistic. The very fact that it is set down at a certain time by a certain writer using this or that language automatically imposes a certain sociological and personal bias on the doctrines so formulated. It is only in the act of contemplation, when words and even personality are transcended, that the pure state of the perennial philosophy can actually be known. The records left by those who have known it in this way make it abundantly clear that all of them, whether Hindu, Buddhist, Hebrew, Taoist, Christian, or Muhammad, and I always have trouble saying that word. I would rather just say Muslim, but I don't know if that's culturally appropriate. We're attempting to... Islamic. There we go. That would be better. We're attempting to describe the same essentially indescribable fact. So what this is saying, kind of breaking it down for you, is, in so many words, each of these religions, each of these major players as far as faith, spirituality goes, they were all talking about something similar. They were all talking about the same idea. They just described it in different ways based on cultural lenses and the understanding of life and philosophy at that time. I'm going to keep reading now. The original scriptures of most religions are poetic and unsystematic. Theology, which generally takes the form of a reasoned commentary on the parables and aphorisms of the scriptures, tends to make its appearance at a later stage of religious history. The Bhagavad Gita occupies an intermediate position between scripture and theology, for it combines the poetical qualities of the first with the clear-cut methodicalness of the second. The book may be described, writes Ananda K. Kumaramsamwe, I may have pronounced that horribly, in his admirable Hinduism and Buddhism, as a compendium of the whole Vedic doctrine to be found in earlier Vedas, Brahmanas, and Upanishads. Again, probably pronounced that horribly. And being therefore the basis of all the later developments, it can be regarded as the focus of all Indian religion. But this focus of an Indian religion is also one of the clearest and most comprehensive summaries of the perennial philosophy ever to have been made. Hence its enduring value not only for Indians, but for all mankind. At the core of the perennial philosophy, we find four fundamental doctrines. First, the phenomenal world of matter and of individualized consciousness, the world of things and animals and men and even gods, is the manifestation of a divine ground within which all partial realities have their being, and apart from which they would be non-existent. Second, human beings are capable not merely of knowing about the divine ground by inference, they can also realize its existence by a direct intuition superior to discursive reasoning. This immediate knowledge unites the knower with that which is known. Third, man possesses a double nature, a phenomenal ego and an eternal self, which is the inner man, the spirit, the spark of divinity within the soul. It is possible for a man, if he so desires, to identify himself with the spirit, and therefore with the divine ground, which is of the same or like nature with the spirit. And fourth, man's life on earth has only one end and purpose, to identify himself with his eternal self, and so to come to unitive knowledge of the divine ground. The reason I read this particular passage to you from the Song of God, the Bhagavad Gita, is actually because it combines a lot of different ideologies, a lot of different things that I came to believe and found to be true just within my own soul searching, my own spiritual journey. So it was very significant for me in this book that I've had literally for 2 or 3 years to come back to it and find that it contained all the stuff that I had basically found out on my own through discussions with different individuals, through honing my particular views and perspectives in actual practice, and taking this not to the streets necessarily, but just talking to people and loving them and being okay with whatever happens and kind of going with the flow of the universe. So just keep that in mind. More videos to come. I'm going to be recording a couple today, so coffee shop for the win. Thanks.